We are going to be live reacting to Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series and other abridged series on our Twitch, so make sure to follow us on Twitch and make sure to follow us on other social media like Twitter, Instagram, and our Discord. Links in the description so you can keep up to date. What's up guys, Gozen here for Anime Uproar. And today, I'm back with a highly requested video. I said that I would do another 4Kids video if we got 1,000 likes on 10 more ways 4Kids changed One Piece. And we're well over 2,000 likes at this point, so it's about time this video came out. In both 10 ways 4Kids changed One Piece and in 10 more ways 4Kids changed One Piece, I asked for you guys to recommend what other anime you would like me to look at next, and a lot of you requested Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're doing it. If you want to see more content like this, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know the second we come out with a new vid. If we can get over 1,000 likes on this video, we can either do a part 2 or take a close look at another anime 4Kids censored. Let me know what you want to see in the comments below. I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm not here to be the millionth guy to roast or hate on 4Kids. I just want to point out some differences that I think you might find interesting because I definitely did. I'm curious about what 4Kids felt they needed to censor and about how they went about censoring it. If you want to send 4Kids to the Shadow Realm, more on that later, then that's cool, let me know in the comments, but to be honest, I enjoyed watching Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, and even playing the card game with my friends. 4Kids introduced me to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I liked it a lot, but nonetheless, they made significant changes, and sometimes hilarious ones, that we need to go over in this video. Now, without further ado, it's time to... Number 1. The theme song. As you probably know, 4Kids loves to change the theme songs for the anime they license and bring to an American market. In the One Piece video, we talked about the One Piece rap intro and how some people loved it and some people were upset it wasn't even remotely close to the original. Here we have a similar situation. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Song is nothing like the 4Kids version. The original is a J-pop song, take a listen. To be honest, I had never even heard of this version until I started doing the research for this video. Now, here's the 4Kids version that I'm sure we're all familiar with. Let me know which one you guys prefer in the comments. You can find the full ones on YouTube. I personally like the 4Kids dub, and that probably has a lot to do with the fact that I heard it first and it's nostalgic for me. However, I also appreciate the fact that it isn't a cheesy rap. It doesn't have a lot of lyrics, but that's what I like about it. I like the background music and the repetition of and the famous "it's time to duel" moment that had us all singing along to it. It also gives you a sense of the pharaoh's Egyptian origins, which is a nice touch. Overall, I can't hate on this change, but let me know what you think. Number 2, the name changes. So we briefly mentioned some name changes in One Piece like Smoker to Chaser, but that's nothing compared to the changes that 4Kids made in Yu-Gi-Oh! 4Kids took most of the original Japanese names and gave the characters English names instead. Here are some examples. Joseph aka Joey Wheeler is actually named Katsuya Jonuichi in the Japanese version. His sister Serenity is named Shizuka. Tristan Taylor is named Hiroto Honda. Taya Gardner is actually Anzu Mazaki. Yugi's grandfather's name, Solomon, was originally Sugoroku, and I think you get the point. But I'll also mention that Maximilian Pegasus was originally Pegasus J. Crawford, which I thought was pretty interesting. Luckily, some names like Yugi's and Seto Kaiba's were left the same, or else we might have been calling this show YuGiOh right now. Number 3, the invisible guns. Now, in the One Piece world, guns are more prevalent because they're dealing with pirates after all and not a card game, albeit a pretty epic card game, but still. As you'd expect, guns don't pop up as much in Yu-Gi-Oh! As they do in One Piece, so we don't see some of the bizarre changes that we see in One Piece. In Yu-Gi-Oh! 4Kids simply takes out the guns, rather than making them water guns, rubber, hammers, cork guns, or shovels. Although, that would have been insanely funny if Pegasus's men were pointing shovels or water guns at Kaiba. In Yu-Gi-Oh! The guns are replaced with pointing fingers most of the time, which nonetheless leads to some confusing and hilarious situations. For example, we have Kaiba jumping out of a window, risking his life to escape pointing fingers. We also miss out on this epic moment where Kaiba stops a gun with a playing card. In another instance, Bandit Keith makes it all the way to Pegasus' seat just to point a finger at him, which for some reason justifies Pegasus sending him down a deadly trapdoor. I could go on, but you get the idea. Not only is the gravity of the scene lessened by removing guns, it often leads to weird situations which don't really make sense given the circumstances, but it's probably still better than water guns. Number 4. The violence. Like with guns, 4Kids censored violence. Often they cut out some particularly violent shots. For instance, this includes shots where you actually see a punch being thrown. I guess they felt they could pretend that the characters weren't actually being beaten up if no punches were actually shown. Sometimes they pretended that the punch was just shoving. For example, when Joey and Tristan get into an argument, Joey punches Tristan, and 4Kids tries to turn it into a shove, even though you clearly see that Tristan's face has been punched, or else that's a weird place to shove someone. 4Kids also took out the actual punching sound effects, but despite all this, it was pretty clear what was happening most of the time. They also didn't want to show an American adult beating up children over a card game, so they tried to lighten the mood in their signature 4Kids style.
You lost! Now hand him over!
Take him, just take him up. I hate when he gets like this.
I'm coming, Pegasus. We got a score to settle.
Number 5. The religion. 4Kids, for whatever reason, went out of their way to avoid anything that could be construed as religious. This is what led them to change Miss Merry Christmas's name to Miss Groundhog's Day in One Piece. In YuGiOh, pentagrams are censored out whenever they appear in the original, like on the Exodia card or during battles. During the night before Pegasus' semi-final, Yugi has a nightmare and sees playing cards that contain the souls of his grandpa, Kaiba, and Mokuba hanging on 3 crosses. 4Kids changed the crosses into pillars instead. Similarly, when the characters, be it Kaiba or the Dark Magician, are hanging on stones that resemble crosses, 4Kids change the shape of the stone. Cards are also censored by removing stuff like crosses and halos. Number 6. YuGiOh Season 0. Here's an interesting one that I also didn't know about before I started to do research for this video. There was actually a Yu-Gi-Oh anime that came out before Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, which we just refer to as Yu-Gi-Oh! This anime shows how Yugi first put together the Millennium Puzzle and how he became friends with Joey and Tristan. Often in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, we get flashbacks to stuff that happened in this anime. However, there are significant differences between the two shows. In this version, Kaiba has green hair, for instance, no joke, and there is a main character called Miho who Tristan is absolutely infatuated with, despite the fact that she's extremely materialistic and straight up annoying. The tone of the show is also considerably darker. Although there are some episodes that deal with Duel Monsters, most deal with different games that Yami Yugi plays with various people, usually criminals. After Yami Yugi wins, he uses his power to torture his opponents psychologically, leading them to go crazy. For example, he makes one guy think he's on fire. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, we also have Yami Yugi mind crushing people, and they might also be experiencing similar nightmares in their minds because of it, but that usually isn't shown on screen. Number 7. The suggestive content. Not very surprising, but 4Kids desexualizes everything. Cards are censored so that they're wearing less revealing clothes. Mai's and Teia's clothes are also censored at times. Dialogue is also censored. For example, when Rex is talking to Mai, originally Mai says she'll do anything that he wants if he beats her in a duel, but the reward is changed to a simple kiss in the dub. Later, when Joey is dueling Rex in the original, Mai says that Rex has to beat Joey to get his reward. Joey is curious about the reward and gets jealous. However, in the 4Kids version, Mai just says that he has to beat Joey if he wants to duel her, and Joey gets upset not out of jealousy, but because Rex calls him a dueling monkey. Nice one, Rex. Another notable instance is when Teia is going to take a shower and hears something. Mai rushes in, makes sure everything is okay, and that's the end of the 4Kids version. In the original, Joey and Tristan are trying to get a peek at undressed Teia, while Yugi is trying to hold them back. Any instances like this one that suggest that the guys may be interested in the female body are pretty much taken out of the 4Kids version. Number 8. 4Kids voices and dialogue. No 4Kids anime is complete without a Brooklyn accent, and Joey Wheeler fills in that role in YuGiOh.
I got 2, but I plan on doubling them right here.
Yami Yugi's voice is not just more confident, it is also much, much deeper than regular Yugi's.
Change of heart.
Listen closely, Yugi. Use the power of the Dark Magician. Send him to the graveyard. Now!
Tristan sounds like Barney the dinosaur for a few episodes and then undergoes a voice change.
Just act cool. Act cool. Cool as a cucumber. Keep it cool. Don't be so downbeat, Bakura. If they don't beat him, we'll never get out of the labyrinth.
Let me know what you think of the voices in YuGiOh. Like I said, I watched this version of YuGiOh first, so for me the voices don't really bother me except maybe Barney's voice. However, it is the creative license that 4Kids exercises with the dialogue that really stands out to me. Of course, they bring in their bad puns, like when Kaiba's supposed ghost keeps saying you don't stand a ghost of a chance. There's also the time where they decided to make the brothers Para and Dox rhyme, and then Yugi and Joey get into it too.
Select the correct door and find the path to freedom and fresh air.
Select the wrong door and find only despair.
What do you mean one door leads to despair? That's not fair.
This is not surprising though, since you can expect that if 4Kids gets their hands on an anime, they will inject into it all of the puns and corny jokes that they possibly can. Number 9. Shadow Realm. This might blow your mind if you didn't know this already, but the Shadow Realm was pretty much made up by 4Kids. It's a limbo place of suffering where a character is sent when in the original they would have died or been seriously injured. It's a way for 4Kids to avoid death, but the question is whether it is really an improvement. Is a limbo space of eternal suffering really preferable to death? Probably not. But I guess if someone is in the Shadow Realm, they are not technically dead, and as a result, there is the possibility, as small as it may be, that they might come back to the real world, which is good enough for 4Kids. Yugi mind crushes, aka appears to kill the clown who pretends to be Kaiba's ghost after their duel. In the 4Kids dub, they made this clown Kaiba's evil side, that the pharaoh banished to the Shadow Realm after his first duel with Kaiba. By making him Kaiba's evil side instead of his own person, 4Kids shows that people can come back from the Shadow Realm, and that Yugi banishing him there is not that big of a deal because he is not actually a person but pure evilness. Another notable time when the Shadow Realm is used is when Yugi is dueling Arcana. The two are trapped, and the situation is set up so that the first person to reach 0 life points will have their legs cut off by buzzsaws. By the way, that is exactly what happens when YuGiOh meets the Saw franchise. Anyways, 4Kids decided to change the buzzsaws to dark energy discs instead, and when they touch you, you are sent to the Shadow Realm. In another instance, when Yugi and Kaiba are dueling Loomis and Umbra, in the original Japanese, hitting 0 life points will mean a bomb detonating, sending the loser falling through the glass ceiling and to his death. In the 4Kids version, there is no risk of dying, but instead a risk of falling into the Shadow Realm. Although it can be said that the duelists enter a kind of Shadow Realm when they are participating in a shadow game, like when Pegasus dueled Yugi and regular Yugi had trouble breathing, 4Kids took the concept of the Shadow Realm and applied it to any life-threatening situation. And now, we move on to number 10, random changes. In this category, we're gonna be looking at some random changes that 4Kids made that are kind of puzzling. For instance, when Yugi and his friends are on the ship heading to Pegasus's tournament, Taya needs to go to the bathroom. Tristan makes a joke, pointing to the edge of the boat and telling her to relieve herself over there. She gets angry, telling him she's not a boy, meaning she can't just do it off the side of a boat. For some reason, 4Kids decided that they can't have Taya needing to go to the bathroom, so she just says she's cold and can't stay still. Then Tristan laughs and says randomly,
In another few hours, the sun will rise.
and Taya gets mad and says that's not funny, so it's implied that Tristan was making a joke by saying the sun will rise in another few hours. Why this should upset Taya so much is the Millennium Puzzle that's left for the audience to solve. Another random and surprising change was the fact that 4Kids took out Yugi's mom from the anime. In episode 50, she overhears him talking to Yami Yugi, but for whatever reason, this part is taken out of the 4Kids anime. And there it is, guys. 10 ways 4Kids changed YuGiOh. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I hope you liked this video. Let me know if I missed any important changes, and I might include those changes in part 2 because there are definitely too many to jam into one video. Were there any changes that surprised you? and tell me what you thought of the way 4Kids handled the anime in general. Also, type in another few hours, the sun will rise, in the comment section to show you're a baller and that you made it this far. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one and smash that like button. If we can get over 1,000 likes, like we got twice before, I'll do another 4Kids video. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, see you, Space Cowboys.